Coach Sauers believed in the power of hard work, salt tablets, and horse crank.
It was easier back in high school when you didn't feel so great. Coach Sauers would just give you some of those go pills and you felt like you could take on the Dallas Cowboys. Man, you talk about them dang old go pills, man. It's talking about that old horse crank, man.
Yeah, Coach's special vitamins really did the trick. I broke my leg going for a touchdown, and I didn't realize it for 2 days. Took 7 police officers to get me into that ambulance.
Hey folks, welcome to Squirrel Tactics. Don't forget, like, subscribe, check out our Patreon, all the good stuff. Let's do this. Whitey Sauers, better known as Sour Coach Sauers and voiced by radio personality and voice actor Phil Hendry, was the head coach of Arlen High's football team when they lost in the state championship game back in 1974. He appeared in a flashback while Bill retold his breaking of the school's career touchdown record in Bills Are Made to Be Broken.
The ball was on the 3-yard line with 5 seconds left. We needed a touchdown to win, and that's when Coach called for the bulldozer.
And during the celebration, this happened. Now, the curse was a callback to his first appearance in Three Coaches and a Bobby, where he's introduced in another flashback, this time to the state semifinals.
Now, how we gonna win state if we don't get to state? Now go out there and get me to state. You get us to state and I guarantee I'll kiss each and every one of you little pansies right on the mouth. Let's go! Where Arlen did indeed win, but they eventually lost in the championship game.
Bound, down, set. That man, they're like a dang old blitz, man. Don't change plans, man. Fake hand off to Hank, come around, blitz, fake reverse, please, run down, hike.
Coach Sauers was true to his word, at least as far as Bill was concerned.
Damn, that man could coach.
You know, I wonder if Bill was kissed more times by Coach Sauers than by his ex-wife Lenore. Anywho, when Bobby and Joseph's football team, the Cougars, aren't doing too well, Bill has a gribble of an idea.
And you know who we should get to coach Bobby's team? Coach Sauers.
That's a gribble of an idea, Bill.
Yeah.
So the guys track down Coach Sauers to his current job working at a shoe store, probably something like Foot Locker.
If those are tight in the toes, I'll get you half size bigger.
And he actually remembers the guys,
Hill, finally got a haircut.
You noticed.
having a moment with each of them.
Boomhauer, how you folks?
Man, they're doing fine, man. I'm down in Florida, man. I'm going to lighter winter, man. No problems, man.
Sorry to hear that. Gribble, no one's killed you yet.
And then there's Bill.
Don't reeve. My God, man, what happened?
Bill doesn't get to answer because, you know, he's Bill, and Hank interrupts him to get to the point.
It's a long story.
Look,
You remember?
Coach, we came by to see you because you're the best coach Arlen has ever seen. How'd you like to coach again for my son's football team?
Coach Sauers is on board pretty quick, agreeing and quitting on the spot.
Coach again. I quit.
But then he learns that it's not a paying gig.
Whoa, it's not really a paying job.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I'm guessing that the Cougars is a Little League team, given that the coaching position doesn't pay, and that they're the Cougars rather than the Tom Landry Longhorns. My guess, and it's dependent on how the football system is done in Arlen, is that Bobby is in the 6th grade at this point, which in the system used when I was a kid would still have him be in Little League, seeing as middle school football didn't start until the 7th grade. So, Coach Sauers is introduced to his team, and they seem pretty excited by his track record.
Fellas, my name is Coach Sauers, and I took Arlen High to state in 1974.
Wow.
And even more excited by him being so confident in their ability to win.
Up to now, you men have been losing. But now you're gonna be winning.
But then things take a bit of a turn when they hear about his methods.
Cause I'm gonna ride you, little Danny Joe, so hard you wish you were all dead. I'm gonna chew you up, spit you out, take a big dump on top of that, and then I'm gonna get tough. Let's ram 'em up.
Now, to be fair, this is the TV show, so that was a much more toned-down version of what he would have really said, which in real life would have been closer to...
And that's the way you're gonna do it. You go out there, you tear their fucking heads off, and you shit down their necks. Let us pray.
Yeah, I love that movie, but I digress. The boys weren't as enthusiastic after this.
Pretty impressive, huh? Okay, you kids have fun.
And thus began Coach Sauers' short training montage, which if you grew up playing football may seem a tad bit familiar.
Eat mud. I said eat it. Eat it.
Coach, I think I swallowed too much mud.
Take a salt tablet.
Yep, yeah, that's pretty par for the course.
I'm walking in biscuit dough. Memorize it.
I will say that the playbook is a lot bigger than typical, and that's the joke, of course, but some high school playbooks are pretty close to that, especially a playbook that's probably from the 70s. During practice, we see the contrast in training for the soccer team.
That looks like fun.
Coach, I'm bleeding.
Salt tablet.
And shortly after, Sauers' tactics start to lose him players.
You call that a pass? Give me that ball or I'll slice your guts out, hippie. Run!
And then even more players.
Any more of you ladies want to join him? Anyone else? Any more?
But he does have a rather Sour Coach Sauers reaction.
All right, that's enough. Hey, Butterball, drag the body back.
And I cannot bring up this episode without adding in this little gem.
Soccer was invented by European ladies to keep them busy while their husbands did the cooking.
Why do you have to hate what you don't understand?
I don't hate you, Bobby.
I meant soccer.
Oh, yeah, I hate soccer, yes.
Yeah, sorry, I just had to. Anyway, Hank learns of Bobby's nickname, which he doesn't appear to be a fan of, though you'd think he'd be a little happier that Bobby got a nickname from a coach.
Well, there you are, Hill. Now, where's Butterball?
Butterball?
Hey, Dad.
But then he gets the double whammy when he learns that Bobby decided to quit football and join soccer, which is news to Hank. Luckily, though, Coach Sauers shows his softer side.
Sorry, Dad.
Breaks your heart, doesn't it? Take a salt tablet.
And speaking of Coach Sauers' softer side...
Well, what do we got here? Soccer mommy.
When Hank returns to drop off Bobby's playbook and apologize again...
Look, Coach, I just want to apologize for Bobby quitting on you like that. I know you spent a lot of money Xeroxing these playbooks.
It's the collating. That's where they screw you.
Coach Sauers comes up with a way for Hank to make things right, which Hank tries to get out of.
If you really feel bad for the way Butterball screwed me, you can be my assistant football coach.
I don't know. With Bobby not on the team, it might make him feel...
Okay, Louisa May, go play your ballerina ball. Just leave your penis in the bucket.
But then Hank, possibly thrown off by the whole penis bucket comment, agrees to be an assistant coach.
I guess I could find a little time to...
Memorize it.
The two have a meeting in a restaurant where Hank apologizes again for Bobby leaving.
So, Butterball? Butterball is dead to me.
And Bobby's soccer team, the Wind, comes in to celebrate a tie. Sauers takes a look at the soccer rules of conduct, reacting as one would expect a coach from the 70s to react.
Codes of conduct. Cheer all good plays. Respect every player as if he, she were on your team. What is this he, she? Some kind of a science fiction deal? Or?
And when Hank tries to buy Bobby's attention by inviting him to watch a movie, Bobby declines, but Coach Sauers does seem interested.
The space movie with Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
By the way, a lot of the point to this episode is to contrast the old-school hard-nosed approach that Coach Sauers has against the more modern, nurturing, and understanding soccer coach, Coach Coleman Lucas, who was voiced by Will Ferrell.
You don't get it, do you? We're their coaches, but we're the ones who are learning. And these kids are pretty good teachers. All we have to do is listen.
As someone who grew up playing and being around football in the late 80s and 90s, some coaches could be like Sauers. They'd call you every name of the book, but at the same time, if you were having issues, they would be the first to pull you aside and ask what was going on. They could be mean, they could be harsh, but they were also compassionate when they needed to be. So in my experience, football coaches are a combination of the two. Anywho, Sauers ends up running off Joseph, his star player, after Joseph has helmet issues and Sauers has a terrible idea.
Coach Sauers, I think there's something wrong with my helmet.
Then get over there and do the helmet test. Put on the helmet and run into that brick wall.
Yeah, right. And end up with headaches like my mom.
Yeah, you gotta love that ongoing headache lie. So Joseph leaves.
You're going the wrong way. Hey, put your helmet back on.
And Sauers decides to do the test himself, which was not very smart.
All right, you big baby. I'll do it.
And the resulting concussion is probably what led to Coach Sauers using his car to motivate his players.
You little pantywads think you're ready to play the Wolves again? The Wolves eat razor blades for breakfast. Run, you bunch of pudgy-butted softies. Run with your fancy sneakers with the pumps and valves and little lights on the back that can set off a seizure. But what do you care? I ran around the world in a pair of Chuck Taylors, for the love of Pete.
Now, my middle school football coach did follow us in his truck to keep pace. We knew he wouldn't hit us. Well, he wouldn't hit us hard, but it was always on paved areas. I don't think any coach I've ever had would do this to a football field. I mean, we couldn't walk on the field. Pretty sure they wouldn't destroy it with tire tracks. Like I said, it was most likely the concussion, but Hank did have to step in.
What in God's name is going on here?
Damn it.
And when he does, Coach Sauers unloads on him, blaming Hank and his weak ankle for the state championship loss.
I never did like you, Hill. You were a know-it-all and a do-gooder, and your teeny, tiny, weak little girly ankle bone snapped in the finals, and you lost me state.
Hank then responds in a nicer way than a lot of other people would have.
I lost you, state. I'm the one who got you to state. I wish I never dragged you out of that shoe store.
But when Coach Sauers tries to continue his motivational attempted vehicular manslaughter tactic, Hank puts an end to it once and for all.
Are we done yet?
Why, you precious little candy ass.
I think you hurt him.
Hit him again to make sure.
And that's the last we see of Coach Sauers. It's probable that he just returned to his job selling shoes, also possible that Hank just killed him there. Yeah, he might have beat him to death with water cooler, though I'm leaning towards the shoe selling, but you never know. We do, however, get Hank telling Bobby that he might make a good coach one day, and Bobby has a Bobby response.
Stick with it and you could make a good coach someday.
I'd still want to wear my uniform.
Yeah, okay.
And a cape.
It should also be noted that when the team reunited for a rematch of the state championship game in Bois My Nose, they bring back Coach Kleehammer rather than Coach Sauers. I'm guessing that Kleehammer was an assistant considering he's in the photo that the guys have. So Coach Sauers was an old school coach who's a tad out of touch with reality sometimes, but he's the quintessential old school coach. His methods were rather out there for that time, let alone nowadays, but in the end, Hank gave him the worst Gatorade bath in history and sent him back to the shoe store where Hank found him, proving that just because he was good at one time doesn't mean he'll be good all the time. Or maybe Hank did actually kill him. I mean, the world may never know. But at least he never brought back the horse crank.
Cause I'm gonna ride you, little Danny Joe, so hard you wish you were all dead. I'm gonna chew you up, spit you out, take a big dump on top of that, and then I'm gonna get tough. Let's wrap 'em up.